live, right? Like we're live, but we're not live. We are almost there, folks. We got a lot to talk about today. Goodness. Lots of information. I'm going to help you guys know how you can get into the experimental branch today, which is dropping very soon. And then we'll be covering lots of details. So, one moment, I'm gonna do some last minute preps. I'll be right back. Goodness. Okay. All right. Here we are. Excuse me. Well, all signs are go for the stream. Looks like it's good. So let me just push a button and hopefully it shows my face. Hey, all right. We are in. Oh, goodness. I'm using developer cheat codes because I'm in the experimental build right now. Now calm down, everybody. I know some of you are like, how do I get in? It's live right now? It's already live? No, whoa, calm down, whoa. All right. I'm in the build right now. It's going to be going live soon, though. We're going to be covering a lot of information as to how you get into it. So dial it back 1 second. Okay, everything's fine. We're not jumping the gun here, okay? In fact, well, I shouldn't say that because I am jumping the gun. I haven't even introduced myself. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the official ROCKFISH Games live stream of Everspace 2. All things delightful and enjoyable pertaining to the game space. I am your host, Eric Schrader, the community ambassador for ROCKFISH Games. Whew, so we oh goodness. Oh guys, I had prepped so much this week for this stream. Like I was nervous about it. It's like, oh man, there's all this information, like tons of information. If you could see my computer desk right now, you would probably be ashamed at how garbage it looks because I got like paperwork everywhere. I gotta organize. But I was like taking notes, and honestly, after all this note taking, I realized I'm kind of over preparing here. There's just a lot of stuff. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna kind of break the stream down into different sections, I hope. And we're just gonna cover important areas that need to be covered. Near the end of this stream, I will be highlighting what the experimental branch is, how you can be a part of that, and you know, kind of go over those details. That way nobody is going to miss out on that opportunity should you desire that said opportunity. Excellent. So I'm gonna go ahead and load up my save here. And I'm gonna have you guys choose which ship I'm flying today. I've got just 2 ships in my hangar. But I think you'll like them both. I think you'll like them both. So first we have this Scout 2. This nice little pleasant Scout 2 right here. And then we're also using Vanguard 2 Plus. So 2 options we have. Now we can also change the colors around if we want. I kind of like the way that the colors are. So it's mostly just asking if you guys want me to fly this Scout or this Vanguard? The Scout or the Vanguard? That's the big question. That's the big question. But otherwise, trying to hold back my excitement as much as possible right now. It's kind of difficult, but I'm okay. It's going to be a more informative stream today. So lots of details to cover. In fact, let's just go ahead and start cracking into it. So what do I mean by details? Like what am I leading into? Well, there are going to be a number of changes to the game that some of which are anticipated. You know, you've been making comments on the forums and discussions in the Discord, but some of which are maybe going to be a little bit stranger. Maybe you weren't as expecting them as much. As an example, the Annihilator virus has been reworked a bit. But I'm not going to get into like every single detail of every single little tweak we made, because it's a ton. But a big point of conversation is actually, oh, everybody wants the Vanguard? Everybody's saying Vanguard. Wow, okay. All right, we'll probably fly the Vanguard around then. But a big point of discussion is actually what we've been doing to the enemy difficulty. Since a lot of individuals are like, I want a greater difficulty, you know, I want it crazy. And then other people are like, bro, back off on the difficulty. It's way too hard. I don't even know how people have played longer than 30 minutes. Like there's a very large demographic of players out there, and we want to adhere to both. We want the game to be easier and harder in the same time. Is that even possible? Well, we're going for it. And I'm going to explain how we did that by using this UI system, not UI, AI system, that effectively, for all intents and purposes, it effectively makes the aim of enemies worse the more there are. Okay? It makes enemies have worse aim the more there are. So if you're getting swarmed by like 20 people, you're gonna still be okay. Kind of. Because there's 20 of them. And if you're on like a one-on-one fight, they're gonna be far more precise. So you're gonna be okay because there's only one of them, right? But you also have to play strategically, right? You're gonna have to play strategically in both of these formats. But in short, the name of what this is called, do I have the name? Do we have the official name of how we are labeling this? I know Casper's in the chat and he's like, oh my gosh, Eric, how did you not memorize the name? There was a lot to prepare for. Like, I'm shaking. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff to cover. But basically what this does, it's allowing the difficulty to kind of adhere to the situation, right? So if you're in a hot mess, it's going to ease up on you a little bit. A little bit. And if you are just casually cruising along and then pop in comes a foe, that single foe is going to be fairly challenging, or at least should be smarter in how it acts. Okay? So there you go. That's one of like the heftier things that's kind of going on in the back end of the game. Now, this also doesn't include the numbers changing in the background as well, because we went through all of the enemy types and said, does the health pool feel right here? Does the armor pool feel right here? What about the shields? What about their rate of fire? What about their secondary weapons? What about X? What about Y? Like, we went through this and we've been tweaking those numbers as well. Now, I'm not talking like a full-blown balancing change, so when you dive in, it's like an entirely new game. You're gonna have a lot of similarities before, but we're already addressing these details so that when you're out here flying and blowing things up, that you're gonna, oh man. Oh man, oh! Oh man, this thing is so fast. I'm excited for you guys to get your hands on this Vanguard. But a lot of those details and how the enemy AI functions has been looked at, and where they're balanced. Like, it's all coming together. It's a process, guys. It is a massive process. And I just want to also throw out there, thank you for all the feedback that you guys have been providing on the forums, casual conversations in Discord, the YouTube videos, and the clips that you guys have all been sharing of your own experiences. That helps us out a lot, like a ton. So, very good stuff. AI director, thank you, Hans Christian, for letting me know That's what that's called, AI Director. So I already see people asking, wait, drops when? Well, I didn't see any information. So yesterday we actually put out a drop. I'm just kind of showing the speed of the Vanguard here. But yesterday we put out a drop pertaining to when the actual experimental update and the actual update itself, the full-blown update, are dropping. So the experimental update is going live at the end of the stream. The end of the stream, it will go live. There we go. There's the clap noise. That's what I want. Now, we are able to bring this forward a little bit so that you can dive in and help us iron out some details, because there's still a bit more to do. We're still working on this update. So you're gonna get in and then you're gonna see some tweaks and modifications through the live streams at the very least on elements that we still need to adjust, okay? So those adjustments are gonna be happening over the next several weeks for the full launch on August the 4th. So you'll notice that one scaled back a little bit, but we moved the experimental update branch a little bit earlier. So we kind of swapped, we did a little trade-off. So early, the experimental at the end of this stream, and then the full-blown launch to have everything well packaged in it, as well as the feedback from experimental, that's going live on August 4th. All right, see how we're kind of bringing that all together? I see lots of woohoos, yos, and yes, and cools in chat. I'm gonna take that as a success. I'm glad to hear that. Definitely some hard calls we've been having to make, but we are very pleased with how it's all coming together. And we're just excited for you to just dive in and start like messing everything up. Like, that's the best way of putting it, right? We need you to get in here, screw around with it, and then we'll tweak it, organize it, bring it all together. So, but yeah, the AI update, again, like, it's a pretty big deal. I'm gonna try and show it by, oh, actually, wait. I need to go back to my home base. I forgot something. I forgot in my home base, I put, oh my gosh, where am I going? Goodness gravy. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. I've got I think it's a Union signal decoder. It's a superior. I wanted to test it out and hopefully show you getting overwhelmed by enemies and how that type of situation with tons and tons of enemies, they're not just gonna one-shot insta-kill you all at once. Instead, you're gonna have to fight like pockets of that larger group of enemies. So still gonna be thrown by the seat of your pants, but you are going to need to, but you can kind of like flesh out your thoughts and you're not gonna just be like straight up overwhelmed. Goodness gravy. So in our storage, yeah, there it is. Oh, it's a Zarkov signal decoder. Even better. I wanted to go to Zarkov. So we're just going to do this. And what this does, whenever you go to a different system, you target like that, all of the locations that you have to pass through are highlighted on your map. So I can go straight to Union Bridge from here. Then it will take me straight to whatever the next place to go is. Beautiful. Little UI changes, a lot of little UI changes across the board. Oh my goodness. That's gonna be something that's way too hard to talk about, but we've continued to modify and tweak and adjust like the crafting system as well. Oh yeah, the new hanger shield VFX. Oh yeah, like we passed through that. Like you're gonna see lots of subtle little details that have been added. And maybe if we're real lucky, we might run into like a new enemy asset or two. If we're really, really lucky. We'll see what we run into. Oh, also, with the Vanguard, we've also been working so much. There's so much, guys. There's so much. We have been working on the passives, the additions to the Vanguard that make it stand out from other ships. And as you would all probably guess, they're all movement-based. They all help the Vanguard slip in and out of situations far more easily. And so what we have here on the two passives of the Vanguard that we're currently using, we have can activate cruise drive with enemies nearby, which I just did. Enemies were upon me and I was like, nah, screw that. Activated my cruise drive. And we also have a 50% reduction of the web effect. Straight up, 50% reduced web effect just for choosing this specific ship. And when I say this specific ship, I'm talking about this very specific, only one Vanguard type ship. You could get another Vanguard that doesn't have that bonus on it because the passives vary. 2 Vanguards can be different based on their passives alone. So this one makes Weber drones far less of a damaging foe. I quite like that, so we're going to use it. All right, let's fly through here. Whew. Bearded Frog says you're excited. Oh man, guys. Like I'm always, the stuff that you guys say and do and showcase within the community just makes me so proud. Oh man, I didn't want to trigger this mission.
It stirred up a group of freelance.
But like, you guys make me so happy with everything that you talk about, everything that you crack open, and frankly speaking, I just want you in to the experimental branch as soon as possible, so that we can keep sharing those conversations and cracking things open. It's awesome. It's awesome. Oh my gosh, yeah, there's too much to explore. Like this save game I have built up. Okay, can I click on the missions tab? Shoot, I actually don't know. Hang on a second. I have to see if I can push this button, okay? I can't reveal things, okay. All right, yeah, so I can show this. I have to be really careful, guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so I have been like obtaining all of the side quests, but I haven't been doing any of them. This is what quality assurance looks like, because I want to make sure that at any time I can test how these missions go and if they feel right and if they're giving the right rewards. Oh my gosh. So that's why you're gonna probably see me run into like several that I shouldn't be running into. But as soon as this is done, then we'll head over to Zarkov.
All humans cease fire at once. I am a Nevark, speaking in the name of the Okar warrior caste.
A button isn't difficult to click. It is when you have content that isn't meant to be shown yet, and you're under NDA, bound legally to where if you show it, then that's going against the contract that you've signed. So, pushing a button, it's pretty easy. But should you do it because you can? Pretty sure we learned in kindergarten that that's a no. All right.
We detected that a member of ours was shot down at these coordinates.
You attacked us first.
Hold on. I'm here on behalf of the Damaris Port Authority. Let me handle this.
You may approach our vessel.
Channel needs a Michael, can I show this? Emoji? That's probably fair.
This is a misunderstanding.
Oh, goodness.
The Okar attacker wasn't piloted by one of your people. He was human.
This is ridiculous.
What you are saying is highly unlikely.
Hey, look.
Take DNA samples if you don't believe me.
The shield's better.
You'll see that this is an issue between humans.
It's covering the ship.
There's no need for the Okar to get involved.
That's a turd of Rosie Rost. We've been attacked by Okar before. The Zarkov transit route is teeming with lizard outlaws.
Hold your tongue. We have the authority to cleanse this place should need arise.
Calm down, people.
Man.
Where did you say you were attacked before?
At the gauntlet, right down the corridor along the transit buoys.
Let me just check out what's going on there, and maybe we can make some sort of sense of this.
If you are correct, and this is a matter between humans, we shall stand by and observe until the issue is settled.
Thanks. I'll head over to the gauntlet and see what I can find.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. All right. And so we're going to Cartwright's Wake because we're heading to Zarkov. But hey, cool. Yeah, so you're going to see lots of little tweaks and adjustments, especially those of you with Eagle Eye.
Humans piloting Okar craft. Given humankind's ambition to control virtually...
Shield is bigger, Tiberius, yes.
It was only a matter of time, I presume.
I, for my part, could live without outlaws having Okar tech.
On the bright side, enemy encounters may become a lot more colorful from now on.
Okay, so Bearded Frog asks, the voiceovers are already working in Zarkov at launch this time, not all text-to-speech. Yes and no. So they will be at the full launch, I know for sure. I cannot guarantee if they will be in the experimental branch update that launches at the end of the stream. Wait a second. I can't do this. I just realized. I can't do this yet. I have to do something else to get into Zarkov. There's only one solution. Boom, we're there. Nailed it. I wanted to travel there naturally in the Vanguard, but I can't do that yet. Silly me. All right, so now we are in Zarkov. We are going to activate this signal decoder. Anybody who's wondering what just happened there, I'm using the dev console to do what I just did. Whenever you're playing through the experimental branch, don't worry. The missions chains are working properly. You'll be able to do all that you need to do in order to get into Zarkov. I just had to bypass some things. Everything's fine. It's magic. Perfect. So we're gonna activate this high risk area and then we're gonna go to it. Where's it at? Ah, perfect. So let's head to our high risk location. Oh. Let's just take our time. Killer B asks, I just started playing. Is the stream spoiler free? Mostly. How to answer that question? So if you just started playing, you have access to up to the April update. So the content that you see here is going to be in the experimental update that launches at the end of the stream. So it's kind of spoilery, but I'm not getting into like the big spoiler elements like that of story, for example. Oh, this is it. This is it. Gosh. Okay. Thanks for letting me splurge. But man, I hope that you guys enjoy the music as much as I do. And if you don't, guess what? You can completely turn it off and listen to your own jams anyway. So I'm not too worried. Woo! Goodness gravy, that gives me, I feel great. Okay. All right. Now that we're gonna be in here fighting some enemies, maybe we can see a little bit of the AI controller in effect. Also, I have no consumables. That kind of sucks. Let's see. We do have 3 basic devices. It's fine. It'll work for now. So let's go ahead and get way too frisky with these outlaws and just get all up in their grill. And you're gonna see that 2 things really. The Vanguard is, it's just insanely fast. It's so fast. And now I'm not even going to boost, I'm just going to evade, okay? So you're seeing enemies are, like my shields aren't even down yet. But because we are absolutely overwhelmed, it gives us time to kind of like stop and collect ourselves. Okay, now our shields are down, so I'm gonna charge our shields back up. You can kind of stop and collect yourselves when you're getting overwhelmed like this to situate on the situation at hand. Like these outlaw armor drones. absolutely need to go down first.
From you, Hive, for a change.
Or use a device to have them cool off. And then realize you're using a kinetic-based weapon on a person with shields. And then also realize there's a sniper drone that you absolutely need to focus down. Much better. Another sniper drone. Excellent. Perfect. Now, a lot of the equipment that we're using is all level 10. All of these opponents we're fighting are level 10s, level 11s. So you can kind of see a little bit of the balance pertaining to how long it's taking me to like destroy an enemy, for example, okay? Woo! Really wish I had some nanobots now, actually. Here, let's clear the way a little bit with some splash damage. That feels good. We'll take out this proto scout, drop his shields. Oh, ouch. All right, I think the next target is going to be, where is he? Ah, there he is, the Demolisher. Oh yeah, because he's about ready to kill us. Need more energy boost. So there you can kind of see a little bit more of the effects of the AI controller. We're gonna dive right back into that combat. I'm gonna do things a little bit differently this time. So this is what I'm kind of talking about and how it's both scaling up the difficulty factor, but also making it a little bit easier as well. Maybe some of those areas you could see how it's easier, yet there's still a very clear threat about you. And we're really excited to see how this change, which is, it might seem like it's subtle. I would say this is a pretty big change to the game state as a whole. Really excited to see how you guys will enter into this and approach it as well. Yeah, I used the nano transmitter a little too late. So instead, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with a minefield. And this should clear our way out quite a bit better. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna hyper focus down these sniper drones. See, going in with a plan makes things so much easier. And next, we should really target the armor drones. Probably should have done that first, but you know. We'll use our very hyper-focused, very precise pulse laser to knock them out. And now we just have to play cleanup. Nice. Get the mine layer out of the picture. Beautiful. Oh, thanks. Woo. We'll also put our turret buddy on deck, so after about 13 more seconds, we'll be able to use him. He should help even the playing field as well. For those just coming into the stream, this is our pre-experimental update launch, where we're going to be, I mean, right now I'm kind of in the fray a bit, but we're going to be answering a lot of questions and talking about a lot of topics here today, as opposed to just like all gameplay all the time. So this is the gameplay segment. Yay! Let's see if we can get this guy off our backs as well. Yes, things are coming along a bit better. And as you can see, as we're playing cleanup, as they're dropping, they're actually getting, ironically, some of them are getting a little more challenging because of that AI controller in effect. So just because you've taken out a couple doesn't mean you should let your guard down.
Why don't they just give up?
I don't like these mad caps so much. Ooh, ouch. Actually really glad that I was able to slow down time right here because I needed that. Otherwise, we just about exploded. I was about to say it also makes it to where you're much more accurate because it's a lot easier to lead your targets. And then, of course, I showcased that hot garbage, but... Woo! They are moving like something fierce, that's for sure. Oh no, not the Madcap pod! Woo! That was close! There we go. Much better. Now all we have to do is defeat the boss. Woo! We're gonna get some distance, collect this pulse laser, answer some questions, talk about some other things, and we'll go destroy him. Hopefully. But I'm pretty sure that you guys... Ooh. Pretty sure you guys can tell there's some new elements here and there. Okay. So let's see. Is this an option? I like the current difficulty. No, this is a revamp for how the AI focuses in on players. So again, it's both a combination of making things easier and more difficult depending on the situations and how you're approaching the game space. It's straight up AI. We're making it smarter. So that is, and like I said, this is a pretty decent change to the game space. So if you're coming in as a veteran, there's gonna be some things that feel maybe slightly off, but rest assured, if you have locked into a particular play style and you want to go about certain things, there shouldn't be hardly any change to that. You just have to be more thoughtful if you're gonna go all in, right? Which is how the game should really be. If you throw yourself into a big pile of enemies, it should be challenging. It shouldn't just be a cakewalk. And at the same time, if you're fighting one-on-one, you should have some leeway while still being challenged by focusing that fighter down. Just lots of stuff. All right. Checking on lots of comments. Oh my goodness, so many talkers. I love it. Wants to see some cockpit action. Okay. We can pass over to the cockpit. And I also would just like to mention, with this AI modifier that we are applying to the game space, okay? Because again, this is a pretty big deal. This is a pretty substantial sort of variation. It's not going to completely change everything, guys. It's not like you're going to be playing an entirely new game here, okay? These are subtle improvements to the AI and how it's going to bring a greater challenge or greater ease depending on where you're at and what you're doing and how you're approaching situations, which is exactly what we would like to do in that particular game space. And if you're looking at this and you're like, oh my gosh, it's the worst thing ever, get it out, I want my old game back. Guys, difficulty scaling is also coming. You'll be able to choose if you want it easier or harder, okay? So calm the frick down, all right? It's fine. It's fine. We are in a process of developing a game. We don't have everything ready yet. You want a difficulty selector? That's great. You have to wait for it. But for now, we're tweaking the AI so it actually works the way that we had intended it to. So thank you for your patience in that. Excellent. Walk in the park. Oh my gosh, Spoot Night. So, let's go take this guy out, hopefully. Maybe we should see if we can get a lucky drop from these guys. Oh my gosh, look at him. Look at him go. So let's see what happens from this Proto Scout. Also keep in mind, the Vanguard is a small class fighter, so they're not the most durable things out there, right? They're evasive, but they can't take a lot of hits. So if you want something that can actually take damage, well, I would highly encourage you to look at the heavyweight class of ships as intended by design. Nanobots? Nope, beam laser, okay. My chances of getting a nanobot here are pretty slim, but we gotta try, right? All right, cool. So let's do a quick flyby. That was way too close. We've boosted up our shields though. Oh, I don't like that sound. Woo! Woo! Oh, we got clipped by that missile. We got clipped by the missile. Oh, man. So, you can see that the stakes have been raised, especially in these superior high-risk locations in particular. But yeah, I mean, with the AI being adjusted, I mean, there's going to be a lot of good and a lot of bad that comes out of that, I suppose. But rest assured, we're doing this for that intended playing of the game to where you need to utilize all of your devices, your consumables, your play styles, your equipment, all that type of stuff. And again, we are level 10 right here, okay? This is a level 10 sort of standard to consider. A lot of you, since you've been playing, have reached level 15. So we're gonna dive into this one more time, and then kind of, I mean, I guess we'll talk about some stuff for a little bit. We'll talk about some stuff, and maybe we'll have another go. Maybe I'll put some consumables on, which would actually balance things out a little bit further. But let's see what else has been on the talkins. And then I also have more stuff to talk about. Of course, there's tons of stuff. Goodness gravy. I'm gonna pull up one other thing here. Some minor things just to kind of cover a couple things just to address quickly. Some of you know this, but just to make sure everybody is fully aware, we have done an overhaul to a lot of the back end, how the game's loading in. So like we've compressed the game to save disk space, so it's going to be in multiple packets on Steam. I know that there have been a number of individuals being like, "Oh my gosh, like why is this a billion gigs?" You know, it's that will be rectified in the upcoming update. So know that that's well on its way. The way that we've packaged and distributed those game assets as well, like that's all kind of part of that. Texture memory usage, like lots of stuff on the back end, okay? So basically what I'm saying here is that through the case of this overhaul and a lot of adjustments and tweaks being made, it's also making improvements so that you can run more fluidly than that. And also, like, it's not bad, Adam, you calm down. There's also a couple new textures and stuff. I'm just gonna point at this location in particular. Just gonna point at it. But like, there's been a lot of reworking of various in-game assets. And like all of this stuff has also been optimized to where even though it seems like it's more complex, even though there's a lot more detail, it's actually running smoother for our machines. So that's gonna be a nice addition. So not only does it look better, but it plays cleaner as well. That's a win-win if I ever heard it. So very good. Oh, Excuse my neck cracking. No more smooth Prescott. Yeah, I suppose that's a very good way of putting it. So let's see. Another thing that I kind of already talked about at the start of the stream, and I don't actually have the device, but there's a series of changes that we've made to certain devices as well, since we found out that they are absolutely and crazily broken. This was discovered internally, but also by a lot of you guys who've been having a lot of fun with certain devices. And I'm happy that you're having fun, because at the end of the day, that is the biggest, most important thing. But also remember that we have a challenge for you to overcome through this game space as well. If we didn't want a challenge, we'd start you off at level 100, all your enemies would be -5, and you just like do whatever the heck you want without any, recourse, right? But that's not the case. We want you to be engaged, to be challenged, to be thoughtful in your approaches. And through that, we have to make adjustments to these devices. So the Annihilator virus in particular can no longer be your super crazy destroy everything in a 5,000 billion meter radius. Instead, now it's going to be focusing on a number of targets that it can jump to. And it takes a little bit longer and it doesn't do as much damage. And the benefits, though, is that you're going to have a new modifier on it that can increase the number of individuals that it can jump to. Elements like this, these are very intentionally thought out concepts to make sure that when you are experiencing the game, instead of being where you're at level 15 in the current game space, I don't know a single one of you. I've watched a lot of streams that you guys have been doing, by the way. I don't know a single one of you that's like expert level player of Everspace 2 flying through the game and ever being challenged. You've optimized your ship stats. You've got the exact devices that you need. You've got all the modifiers that you could ever want and more on your equipment. And it's like you're fighting other level 15s. You're fighting level 17s and you're like 3 and 4 shotting them. That is not intended balance. Okay? That's not how this works. That is changing. Okay? And I hope that you all understand this because it's a very basic level of game balance and design. You are going to walk back into your state from your save file and you're probably going to see a difficulty spike in regards to you being where you're at. That's part of how balancing works. I also want to mention, this is a great time to mention, if you are unsure if it feels right and you want to provide feedback in how that balancing does, I need you to hold your tongue unless you restart your save file. You heard me say that right here. You can't say anything about the balance unless you restart your save file, because your save file inherently is going to start you off way higher than where you're supposed to be, all right? Please understand this. Please understand this, okay? So if I see your forum posts or your Discord messages going, when AI controller sucks and difficulty's all bad, blah, 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 now my level 15 super combo thing barely scratches the surface and I actually have to try at the game, I don't freaking care. I'm just straight up letting you know, okay? Are we good? We all have an understanding here? Because game design. Thank you. Very intentional changes to the AI. I assure you guys. It's not easy. We got to make some hard calls, and I know we're going to piss some of you off, but this is the way that is intended to move into, all right? Whew. That's the big one. That's the big one. Well, there's other big ones, but we'll get there one step at a time. Woo! Okay, so I'm kind of scared to go back to the high-risk area because I don't think that I have everything that I need, because I don't have any augments, and for where I'm at, I should have a few. At least like, 5 or 6 or maybe even up to 10, okay? So I should have a couple of these attributes increased. I don't have any device modifiers being used whatsoever, and of course, I don't have any consumables. Keep that in mind as you just saw that combat sequence we fought. In all actuality, I'm not really prepared for a superior high-risk location. I just figured what the heck, I'd show you anyway to get a better sense of how it's all going down. I'm also getting a pop-up. Windows, get out of here. What in the world? This is not your stream. Okay. So I'm here. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to fly around in other Zarkov locations. And you can see, like, even all the purple locations of Zarkov indicates I'm underleveled. So just a brief thing pertaining to how the leveling works in pertaining to locations. Basically, Cedo is kind of your playground. Everything's mostly underleveled until you start getting to the halfway endpoint of Cedo itself. The boss fight can be a challenge if you haven't prepared accordingly. Then you're cast into Union, where things get a little crazy. You can go to higher level locations, you go to lower level locations, you kind of get a feel for what you're building into. And then Zarkov is another jump ahead where you need to prepare before you start diving in. Now, obviously the mission change should build you up as you're going through those, but more importantly, you get to choose where you want to go and what type of difficulty there's going to be inherently. If you want to fly around and just cause absolute chaos to your foes because they're all lesser level than you, you can do so in this area. There's still some subtle scaling to where they're not going to be like level 1 versus your level 10. They'll only be like level 7 or level 8. But that's to make sure that the equipment that you're finding and the drops that they have are still relevant to where you're at instead of absolute, complete, utter trash garbage. At the same time, if you want to try and go into higher level locations, be our guest. We're not stopping you. If you have a location that's available and it's purple, it's intentionally designed to do this, okay? The enemies will be higher level than you. They could wreck you, or you could wreck them. It will take a little bit of work, and you could get some seriously high, fantastic loot to boot. So, lots of difficulty stuff. Big points of topics about this difficulty. It's just, I really want to make sure you guys know and understand the vision that we have for the game, how it's meant to progress forward, and also the fact that it's meant to be a challenging game. We don't want you to have a cakewalk here. We don't want you to have a cakewalk, unless you choose easy mode when the difficulty selection appears in the future. Okay. Okay. Now let's change topics. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about something that's just maybe a little bit more bright and colorful, okay? Just a little bit more bright and colorful. So, something that some of you may have noticed is that the ship I'm flying isn't using colors that are available to you. Did you catch that? These colors? You don't actually have these colors in your set. You can't collect these colors yet. Now, I'm not going to show you all the colors. You're going to have to discover them. But I do want to show you that we've got some really nice ways to adjust for particular colors that some individuals have been really desiring to get, to have more fun just in how they look. Hang on a second. We're gonna swap over to our scout. This scout in particular, this should look very different according to your colors. This is gonna be fun. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh! Oh! Oh my goodness. All right, that's all. That's the tease. So you're gonna need to go out and find some new sick color options to tweak your ship. Lots more. That's all I'm showing. So I'm backing out. I told you there was more color customization coming. I am not a liar. And there's still so much more customization, not just colors. There's still so much more customization coming in the future. Just hasn't been the primary focus of this update. Now you're gonna get a lot more stuff because Zarkov as a whole, like, it's an entirely new system. So do keep that in mind. But we figured we'd give you a taste of what's to come pertaining to where we want you to really go crazy with your ship. So let's go ahead and swap over to our scout. Actually, I wanna fly this puppy. Let's see if it changes our color on accident, if that's still a bug. Is it gonna change it? It's gonna change it to something else. All right, no, this is perfect. Yeah, I like that very rich blue color. Was missing before, but it is now here. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah, okay. That feels nice. That feels nice. Some of you might also be looking at this and going, wait a second, this is the same cockpit that the Vanguard had. Yes. So small ships all use a similar cockpit style. All medium ships use a similar cockpit style. All large ships use a similar cockpit style. And there's going to be more customization for that in the future. Anyway, but I digress. So this is the Scout. Feeling pretty good about how it looks, how it can interact. So we're going to fly on out, do some more things. I do see a question that I want to answer everybody watching. So there are some individuals asking, will the current save game be compatible with the upcoming update? Yes. And at the end of the stream, I'm also going to tell you what you can do in order to preserve that save state if you want to do that, how to get into the experimental branch, because it's going live at the end of the stream, so I figured I'd help you get there. And also why we will eventually do save lives, and also why I encourage you to restart your save. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Just know that the saves that you currently have will in fact work with the update. Okay, so we're gonna let's go to Prescott Starbase. Maybe we can poke around there a little bit, just a little bit. See if you guys can figure out what's new and different. Now again, I'm not showing you all of the stuff that has changed since last time, okay? There's way too much. And I also want to make sure that we're answering questions. Since, you know, there's a lot going on now. It's gonna be a busy weekend. Nice little casual flyby. So some of you may have noticed some tweaks and additions and improvements. This is always fun. Come here. Oh, this small ship is a heavy thing. We're just gonna move it into the docking bay for them. Perfect. Exactly where they needed it, on the ceiling. Yes. Delicious. I wonder what that could ever go into. Yes. We'll put it down on the ground. We'll be nice. There we go. Perfect. So little improvements. I should actually say big improvements. There's the work that has been done pertaining to the art assets here in Prescott Starbase alone has been kind of mind-boggling, and it's not all implemented in. I want to stress that. I want to stress that we are not done here. There's still a bit more coming. Emphasis on a bit. It's just a little flyby. Some of you guys thinking, oh, well, we're just getting a new system and new missions to progress from where we were at. No. This is a constant process. Every update gets new material for the entirety of the thing. there was actually a post in Discord that I made, kind of doing an analogy of how the save game states work. Like, we're not doing an episodic release of like every 3-month update, right? It's like, oh, okay, well, you did that one, now you get the next step, and now you get the next step. Each update adds new content, yes, but it also adjusts, maintains, reorganizes, restructures, optimizes, and improves that content that was before as well. This is actually why I do encourage a lot of you guys to restart your games. Yeah, you can keep your save file if you want to have that like legacy option and like go ham with it, and that's like your baby or whatever, but you're gonna miss added content and adjustments and tweaks that flesh out how the game is intended to be played from the very start. So that's why I do encourage you, truly, especially if you want to get involved in helping development, you want to get your voices out there, starting from a fresh save is going to help us the most pertaining to that, because that is the authentic save of how the game is meant to be played, right? That said, we're busy people. We did make sure that the saves could be carried over for those of you who just simply don't have time. You want to poke in for a little bit and then you got to move on with your life. We get it. We get it. Cool. A bit, me, an intellectual. It's a 1 or a 0. Oh my gosh. So actually, hang on a second. I want to pull this up because this is kind of cool information. Hang on. I want to pull this up. So, we were planning on doing a little tease of the updates to Prescott Starbase, because we are working on, there's like a lot, okay? There's a lot being worked on, a lot of different assets. And simply put, we haven't had the time to get all of it in yet. You kind of know this already because we're going to be launching the experimental today, but the full update doesn't show up until August 4th again. So we have that span to get everything that's planned into this update actually in. But I'm just going to do a quick count of updated assets, okay? And these are not like, oh, well, we changed a hair on a character. No, like that. No, like we're talking like massive spanning buildings is one update, okay? So let me look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's the ones that are done. We've got 16 that are done, okay? And then we have like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 more that are being worked on. So I'm doing this because I want to clarify what I mean by a bit, okay? When I say a bit, I don't mean 1 or 2. I'm talking about some pretty hefty, impactful assets that are both going to be more visually appealing and also better optimized. So that is what we are in the works of behind the scenes. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. And that was just for Prescott Starbase. Just for Prescott. Imagine what else we're doing. Okay. Any big struggles with working in the agile model, or has that been super helpful for just pushing what you have at any given moment? I'm gonna have to defer to another individual on the team to understand what you're asking, because that sounds like development term pertaining to agile model. And if you're talking gameplay-wise, the agile model to me is the light ship class, in which case it's kind of been a struggle to balance those bad boys since they're so freaking fast. But this is why we've been adjusting the AI and stuff like that. Oh my goodness. Very, very good. Oh, sorry, music's off. Music's back on. Now, I did say this is going to be a heavily informative stream. Just note, we will be showing some more gameplay again here in a little bit, just because, you know, we can and it's awesome. Maybe we can go to another location here. Oh my goodness, there's so many locations we could go. Let's go back to the gas field. That's always a fun one. Whew. And then we will answer a couple more questions. Will the update have a higher level cap? This one was answered from Michael, who said yes. I know some people are like, great, so what's the new level cap gonna be? Okay, calm down. Calm down, everybody. Like, also keep in mind, the leveling going up, like this is something that we're building out in accordance with where we think your level should be with the story, so that way you're not like going in super powerful or going in super weak, okay? These figures are meant to be kind of a balancing act, and yet still, if you become skilled enough, that leveling can in some cases not matter to you. It depends. There's a lot of factors there. There's a lot of factors. So as we increase that level cap, it changes how your equipment works, how your perks work, how your engagements work, how like all of these different elements come together, and we have to be pretty careful with it. Also, I could say it raises by 10 levels, or I could say it raises by 100 levels, but what does that mean? You know, I think the big thing is people are wondering like, well, what about perks? Will I get 3 new perks to choose from when I hit, you know, a level 20, 25, 30, right? Like, will we get to these new perks yet? Okay. We're still working on a lot of this content in the game, right? That's why it's red, okay? We're still working on a lot of this content in the game. That's why it says coming soon. And that's also why I'm kind of dodging the question because there's just a lot more that needs to be added. So, will there be a level cap raised? Yes, okay? Is it going to be significant to the game? Probably not in retrospect, but it is happening to where you can keep building yourself up to gain new items, to use the crafting system more dynamically, stuff like that. Cool. I want my level cap raised by 2.37 levels. This is the type of content. Goodness gravy, Tiberius. You're crazy. And I love you. Also, in response to the agile model that was asked, I'm going to read this aloud just so everybody everywhere can hear this as well. So Casper has mentioned that we don't really use an agile method. We have a rough framework, what we are going to push, and highly trained individuals able to manage themselves mostly. I see you had to call me out there, Casper. Anyway, we huddle once every week though. Yeah, well, that's for sure. We do playtests basically every week. We have tons of internal meetings where we're screaming at each other in the best ways possible. It's beautiful. And then of course we have our own independent chains of communication, because why wouldn't you if you're working together? It all comes together. It's beautiful. That music punch though. Where are the enemies? Where are the enemies? We also did some tweaking to a lot of equipment as well. I know that a lot of you have mentioned how the railgun is hard to aim, and frankly speaking, we agree. We've been tweaking that, we've been modifying it. We do have a zoom that has been added. It's a subtle zoom for now, so it can kind of help you get a clearer shot. And you can see, even if I wasn't perfectly aligned there, we've got a little bit better tools to help lock those shots in. We had a really big issue, oh my gosh, what's the term to use pertaining to that issue? Oh, Marco's gonna kill me. He's gonna be like, bro, it's so easy. How can you forget a term like this? It's basically what I'm describing is when you were like basically firing directly at your target from a long ways away, you would miss it, and it did not feel good. It actually hurt. It was painful. Let's see, trying to find floating point precision. We had some pretty big issues with floating point precision. That's what I'm looking for. And so that has been tweaked and modified to where you can actually, oh man, it's so funny. I'm like doing all my research, like, oh gosh, I gotta find this thing. Oh, where's it gonna be? And I turned to chat and everyone's like, floating point in precision, floating point precision, point precision, float precision. Oh my gosh, guys, you're brilliant. Thank you for being a bunch of nerds. I love you. But yes, this is something that we have been addressing and modifying to ensure that when you shoot a target, it hits the target. Like, look at this. This is a sniper drone. Get sniped back. And of course, we're in a scout, which is why I'm using this weapon, because the scout's passes allow you to do far more damage at range. Just kind of show this off. Our ranger trait itself deals 2% increased damage per 100 meters. So you might be looking at these shots and be like, wow, you know, like it seems like you're getting pretty fair damage against these foes. Keep in mind, these levels are above me, okay? This is a level 13 outlaw scout that I'm sniping from afar. And I'm doing, that is not a small amount of damage for being 3 levels under and not having any augmentations, okay? And if you don't believe me, just ask the community members in the chat who build absolutely insane long distance range weapon combos that can look at that and be like, wow, that's actually pretty good. So tweaks and adjustments like that as well are making its way into the game. Oh, we're too close now. Let's just get up close and personal. There we go. And here, since we're in a higher level location, you'll see the goods that we collect are also, in fact, higher level. So we have some scrap metal there. We can't actually go over there. I gotta get out of the way. Whoop. But, like all of this stuff is higher level. We can't use it yet, but we can get, like, we've got, wow, that's a huge improvement over our current autocannon. It's so large. There's so many things on it that we can't even see the name of it. That's impressive. But you can see like what you can look forward to whenever you take out these opponents. It's gonna help you build up fast. Like you level up, you got your gear, you're done. As opposed to if you're fighting enemies your current level, you're only gonna get stuff around your level. But hey, that's where the crafting system comes into play. And of course, I have shown this, but the crafting system has been modified to where it's gonna show you a bit more information to put together. So now whenever you are unlocking blueprints like this, it shows you what new blueprints will be unlocked. You can always see your crafting materials straight up, so you kind of know like, oh, well, I've got crafting data for this, that, or the other thing, your special resources, your base resources, tells you how to gain them each. Just little updates like that, improvements to the UI. Just so that you are all aware. The Ranger Sniper, oh my gosh, 31 Fox, welcome. Casual 4K range sniping, yes, it's nice. Ignoring the 300% modifier from the alt, oh my gosh, I should have been alting. Oh man, Tiberius, don't judge me. Can I zoom without using the railgun? At the moment, no. At the moment, that is not possible. Gabriel says, I've wished for that since the very beginning. Yeah, we've heard a lot of people cry out for that. So, yeah, that's why we put it in. And I also want to put emphasis on, this is the current iteration of the railgun zoom in. Might not be done. We might increase it. We might decrease it. We might change how it works. We'll see how things go, okay? We'll see how things go. Was that a decimator? This is it's a bloodstar weapon, so yes? I think the bloodstars use decimators. Yeah, and the reason why this dropped, if somebody's wondering like, well, wait, you didn't kill a bloodstar enemy type. Set items, covering this really quickly. When you have at least 2 bloodstar items equipped, any outlaw has a chance to drop bloodstar equipment up to 8%. That's the first bonus. So when you find the bloodstar stuff, you want to keep using it. Now you're going to get it dropping from all sources, a small percentage chance. Obviously, what's best to do is if you fly back to Cedo on the western sides and deep fields, scattered planetoids, and hinterlands in particular, you fly over to those locations, run into the actual bloodstar, and they have a much greater chance of dropping that loot. So, and there's gonna be a lot of loot that's kind of honed in onto specific locations as well. So if you're looking for that particular set, you go to Zarkov. If you're looking for this other particular set, you go to the Kahit Nebula. If you're looking for this particular enemy type, you'll go over to Drake, etc., etc. Like that's another component of why locations exist the way they do, why the levels are the way that they are, and also giving you flexibility of choosing which freaking path you want to go and what type of loot that you're gaining. Just kind of makes sense, you know? Bloodstar is good for vanguards, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's snipe some more guys, and then we'll move to another location. I really like this location. It's very pretty. It's very calming. There's a bug in my office. How dare it? There will also be a slew of new items that you'll have access to whenever the update goes live as well. A lot of you are familiar with the Corrosion missile, and I also want to point out that the Corrosion missile is getting some adjustments as well. So before, and even in our demonstration video of the Corrosion missile, I state that it bypasses both shields and armor. We kind of evaluated that, and we decided that it should have to go through the armor. So now, Corrosion missiles still bypass shields, but they have to eat through the armor first in order to take out a target. So they're going to be more effective against armorless foes, as opposed to simply heavy shielded foes. Beautiful. So yeah, I mean, I keep mentioning all these little things because, like, there are so many little adjustments and tweaks and modifiers that have been improved for the sake of the game space, and also due to popular requests from a lot of individuals, from catches that you guys have made and whatnot. Michael also adds a little more clarity to the railgun zooming in, and he says, to be clear, we put in railgun zooming because people asked for it, and we thought it makes sense. Tested it, and liked it. Boom. Yeah, I see individuals asking about... Well, actually, I'll let Michael deal with that. Never mind. Oh my gosh. Make sure you're watching YouTube as well. All right, let's go ahead and fly to another location here in Zarkov, listening to some poppin' music, and then we'll, to cap out the stream, we'll try our scout in that high-risk area. So let's go ahead and head on over to Perrin 4. We can probably farm some outlaws over there. I do legitimately miss Everspace 1 explosions shoving me around. Cool. Oh, Peter Frog, no question, no problem. Like, we get a lot of questions. I'm gonna miss some. My apologies. So, long-term type question. Is the game eventually going to be cross-platform for consoles, like after full release? Man, dude, that's a big question. I mean, Michael's gonna dive in and answer the question, I'm sure. But I think the short answer is we'll have a lot more information pertaining to our consoles and that release at a later point in time, as well as everything that entails, including if it will or will not have cross-platform support. In short, there's still just a lot of details in the works there, and it's hard to say. It's hard to dive in. Probably not, though. Just gonna throw that out. That's a pretty low chance item, but we'll see. Be great to be surprised, right? Be great to be surprised. Sam Ann says, love Eric's personality. Oh my goodness, what a sweetheart. I'm glad that you do. Do you have any questions about the game? I would love to help you out and hook you up. Oh my gosh, do you see that armor he got? Where's the cheeky armor drone? Oh my goodness, where's it at? Oh, this is turning into deja vu. I'm not liking this. Ooh, that was a bad shot. Let's try that again and actually aim. There we go. See, I still have to aim. It's not auto aim. You still actually have to aim. It's just that now when you actually shoot your targets, it works. Woo! Here, let's go cockpit mode. Just show this. This also does the zoom in. Ooh, not fully charged. Quick shots, I just want to... All right, there we go. I want to level up. We're still a ways to level. Hey, nanobots! That's what we like to see. Granted, our scout actually has them on it, but I digress. Nice. I did a little twitch shot there, but no big deal. You missed the Everspace 1 rocks, the ones that you can shoot into pieces. Oh my gosh. So fun fact, we actually shared an animated GIF a long time ago of like how you shoot the rock apart. And that single GIF got like thousands, if not millions of views. I'm not even joking. Like, it was one of the things that a lot of people turned their eyes, were like, oh, hey, this Everspace 1 thing, that looks pretty cool. That was pretty awesome, yeah. We'll probably, like, there's still a lot more that you guys haven't seen yet. There's still a lot more territory that we need to go into. And there are also, I should also mention that there are changes that we have intentionally made to put more emphasis of the assets and how they're loading in and how they're being utilized into the Everspace 2 setting that either fit in because of our experiences of Everspace 1 or simply don't fit in because of those same experiences. So there are some sacrifices. You can't even call it a sacrifice. It's a different game. So there are some things that need to be changed, right? When the foundation of the house changes, you can't just use the same contents within. Yeah, it's destructible props is basically what's being asked for there. And I want to point out that, like, there's a lot of stuff that you can just, like, pick up and throw around in Everspace 2. Because in Everspace 1, you simply couldn't do that. Maybe we can find some grappleable objects. And speaking of grappling... What? I can't say anymore? Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, that's an elite? Okay. Here, I need you to chill so I can just blast you. Oh, that armor! I really want this elite dead, so we're gonna try and... Our shields are down. New sound effect to indicate your shields are down. Really helps when you're not looking at your shields at all. Okay, we are too close to these guys. And remember, we are under-leveled here as we're fighting these opponents. Just pointing that out. Come on. I really wanted your shields down. Ooh. Much better. Okay. A lot of guys in this area. All right. I kind of figured there would be. That's why we're here. Oh no, I did not want that corrosion. Okay, much better. Hang on a second, I see a question I have to answer. Oh my gosh. It's a joke question, but we're gonna answer it anyway. The question is, Eric, do you get in trouble if you leak too much? Technically, yes, I do get in trouble. I have in fact been scolded. But listen, that's not important right now. What's important is that we make enjoyable content to help you understand what the heck is going on in our title and why we're doing it, okay? That's the important thing. I just get really excited, okay? Okay, Michael, can you blame me? All right. But obviously, we do temper ourselves. There is a specific reason why we have release schedules and updates for information and all of that stuff. And I do think I adhere to that for the most part. I think. Because if I didn't, I would actually get in a lot more trouble. But I mean, come on, you come to these streams, you want more information. I want to show you a little bit more stuff. And it helps us both out too, because it proves to you guys that we are working hard on a lot more content. I mean, goodness gravy. Like, imagine hearing a dev say over and over, oh yeah, the content's being worked on and we've got a lot to show you and it's gonna be exciting, stay tuned. And all you hear is, stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. And you don't get anything else. Like, we wanted to change that norm. Like, we want other developers to be like us and actually provide information. Like we want people to like be in the know. That's why we do the streams. That is why we are here, to bridge that gap. Just makes sense, you know? It's like you're actively helping us make the title better, so why would we not be in active conversation with you? Oh, that was another change. So when that Viper gets killed, you may have seen, there was an explosion effect. That corrosive effect. When you take out a Viper, if you fly through that zone, you'll actually get corroded. Subtle adjustment. Oh man, another decimator? Wow. I feel like we're gonna use the decimator instead. I mean, I really like the repeater, but I think that the decimator is gonna be more optimal for maintaining distance in the scout. Eric, I love you for your opinion about that. Hey, you're welcome. I think, unless you're being sarcastic. But I mean, it's really the mindset that we have at ROCKFISH. Like, come on, like, you want the goods, we want to show it to you. Okay, yeah, this is a much better option just based on range damage alone, I think. Yeah, that feels a lot better. That's why we are doing what we can to survive. Oh my gosh, it's a level 12 sniping drone? Yikes! No, you come back here. I missed that one? Oh, come on. All right. We do have a passive on this scout where after we use our ultimate, which I don't use nearly as much, nearly enough, whenever I'm done with the ultimate, I have invincibility for like 5 seconds. So that's why, one of the reasons why I need to use this more. Ooh, ouch. That was big damage, and it looks like our sensors are busted. Oh. Destroy the fuel tanks. Destroy the fuel tanks. Chain reaction explosion. Much better. Why do the work when the work can be done for me? Okay, cool. That was nice and cleaned up. So we're gonna sit here for a moment and answer some more questions. Woo! Combat sniper, yes. Transparency, and no, I'm not. Excellent. Yeah, I mean, transparency is the name of the game here for us. Yeah. The range of the weapon will have been fixed. Yes. Oh my gosh, Paranoid Carrot, your question, dude. Asking about if ships could be made out of bulletproof containers. Like, oh my gosh. So, actually, I want to share just a very brief little story. In Everspace 1, we have an enemy called the drone carrier. It is entirely immune to any damage at all when its drones are out. If there's one drone out, if there's 8 drones out, it's entirely immune to damage. Is it fun? I think there's a lot of subjective thoughts surrounding that. And one of the changes we made in Everspace 2 to the drone carrier, the same exact drone carrier, is now the drones provide really hefty armor surrounding the drone carrier. Doesn't make it immune to damage, but if you destroy the drones, it's going to be a lot easier to take them out. If you want to be stubborn and fire them to pieces, you can still do that, but it's going to take a while. It's still possible, but it's not immune to damage to where it's not possible at all, which could be the subject of a lot of criticism. Just pointing that out. With Stoke, I usually play with Gamepad. Do you recommend mouse and keyboard better? I recommend mouse and keyboard, but if you usually play with Gamepad, like, I mean, we do have full Gamepad support here. We got my my controller. Everything can be totally used and skipped over here with Gamepad. Full support. It just kind of depends on what type of gamer you are. Some people legitimately don't use controllers like at all. They hate them and they don't work for them. Mouse and keyboard. Some people can't play a game on a mouse and keyboard. It's like, what? That's my workstation. I don't understand PC gaming. It's weird to me. Give me a controller. Controller then. It's great. We also have HOTAS, and joystick. Shoot. It's the things that, you know, you push. We have that support too, okay? We got lots of support. Lots of support. I almost said Joy-Cons. It's like, well, technically, since they're Bluetooth, you could do that, but if you want to use alternate means to control your flight, it's possible. Just know that we probably don't have a template for how to hook up a potato wired to a bunch of bananas plugged into your machine, okay? We're not gonna give you that instruction, but if you want to do it, the capability is there, okay? You know, go ham. Go crazy. Next stream using motion controls. Nah. Goodness gravy. All right, a couple more questions, and then I'm going to dive into a few more of the details that we've been working on. Oh, excuse me. My apologies. I'm also going to just, like, put my mouse right here. I'm not gonna move it anymore, but maybe it has shown something to you that maybe you haven't seen before. Maybe. I'm not revealing anything, okay? Where your eyes go, I can't control, okay? I did not show any new content in this territory. I'm just making that very clear. I can feel Michael, like, Eric? Oh my goodness. Mouse and keyboard master race. Now, careful there, buddy. Them's fighting words for some people. Oh my goodness. I say that, but I agree with you, but you know. The options are there for a reason. Oh no, did I miss another question from Bearded Frog? Bearded Frog, you've been asking some solid questions. And there's a lot of chat to follow, so thank you for your patience in that. Eric, when you show the gunship, you do not use the sentry. The turret, please show it next time. Let's go pick up a gunship and show it. Why not? Let's do that right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and cheat to get a gunship because that's what we want to do, right? I always go to Nefty's planes because I don't know, that's my default spot to get ships. Michael's clarification. I love this. I love this. I start making comments about hooking up potatoes and bananas, but check this out, okay? This is the be-all, end-all. Any USB input device with enough buttons should work, but we don't provide presets for steering wheels, dance mats, guitars, or fishing poles, anything else like that, okay? So there's those details. Just making sure you are aware. You want me to do a dance mat Everspace 2 live stream? You're gonna not get that. You're not. I'm not gonna do that. Here, let me ask another question. Hey, Michael, will you purchase me a dance mat so I can play it on stream? No? Okay, glad we got that out of the way. Perfect. Moving on. ET says, Michael, stop being a bureaucrat. He's the CEO. Oh my gosh, you guys make me so happy. Oh, that's great. Okay, anyway, we're gonna dock at Nefty's place station and we're gonna find a bomber or a gunship. And we're also gonna look at that sexy Sentinel too. Oh my goodness. Wow. I like that. I like that. I like that. Ooh, oh, yes. The alternate Vanguard style, also pleasing to the eye. The one that we're currently using, a Striker 2 with the inversed engines. That's also pretty dope. I'm digging it. Here's a gunship. Okay, we did get a gunship. Scout. Ooh, we got the bomber with the bigger wings. Do we want a gunship or a bomber? I guess it was the gunship. We're gonna do the gunship, but I just want to point out, like, I really love how the bomber is coming along in its tiers. Oh my gosh, and the silver one. Oh. Yeah, those are pretty nice. Those are pretty nice. So the gunship, can we buy this by selling? We can. We would have to sell our scout. It's for the stream. It's for a good cause. It's for a good cause. You'll just paste it again later. I'm sorry, Bearded Frog. Will we encounter large outlaw battleships? Not in this update. Good answer. Good answer. Whew. Dodge that one. Cool. We cannot use our Guitar Hero controller. I didn't say that. Didn't say you couldn't use it. Will there be Okar loot? Vex98. I love where your mind is going. I'm just not going to answer that question. I'm going to make it remain mysterious for many important reasons. Excellent. All right, so now that we have our fun ship, we're going to go ahead and make sure we've got everything equipped I just need to, let's see. Actually, a repeater up close would be so freaking savage in this thing. So we're gonna do that. We also have the railgun. Yeah, let's do the equalizer instead. I think that'll be a better sort of take. I'm gonna take firepower over actually, maybe we should get a little more structure. This is fine. Where are our passives? I didn't even check the passives. I just bought the ship. 50% reduced hull and armor repair costs. Nice. 30% bonus damage against drones. Also nice. So this thing makes drones dead in a heartbeat. Perfect. All right. So let's go ahead and fly our fun ship. And let's be mean. Let's just build up our ultimate charge on some target practice. And just... So if anybody's wondering, the gunship actually fires from 4 mounts. It's one of its specials. Just fires from 4 mounts instead of just 2. So basically think of it having double fire rate and double energy consumption. That's the gunship. And it can be absolutely savage because of that. Oh yeah. So G and B shouldn't be too much trouble for us here, especially because they're a bit underleveled. Ah, it brings me joy. Oh, you trying to do some moves? Well, you're faster than me, so I guess I have to allow it. Also, here's the cockpit view of the gunship for those who are wondering. It's a little bit bulkier. But if you're like, oh man, I really wanted to view from first-person mode in a gunship because it's easier for me, well, we also do have this mode where it just completely hides it. There's a level. We wanted that. That's gonna help us a lot. Maybe we'll use our gunship for that high-risk location. Beautiful. Collect our loot. Excellent. All right, we also have our turret available, so this should be very nice. So much faster than sniping. Oh yeah, I mean, it's a different playstyle, right? Like sniping does the job, takes a while, but you're safe, right? For the most part, you're safe. But then if you look at, close quarters combat, much faster. But when you're this close to your opponent, you can generally get shot a little bit more easily too. So you have to kind of have to figure out what's going to be, the best fit for where you're at and what you're doing, right? Love the gunship. Have all red superior weapons. She's a beast, dude. That sounds legit. It's kind of funny because like for the longest time I have been a light ship player. Like I love the maneuverability, but there really is something to be said about the heftiness and the sheer destruction that the gunship and the bomber can cause. Like sincerely, we're like, if you're comparing to Everspace 1, it's almost like a false comparison actually, since that roguelike nature means the scout truly does shine in so many ways because time is of the essence. So being faster inherently is better for the game state. But man, tell you what, in Everspace 2, when you got all the time in the world to go and explore and extract information and try and accomplish things, when you're just a big bag bulky gun machine, holy cow, that is nice. Absolutely pleasant. All right, let's go to this high risk area and we're gonna try and do this bad boy. Okay, so I see a question from Bearded Frog. Gonna answer this one. Are we going to see more home bases in the future, or a way to get stuff back out of our home base storage when you are away from it? You can send stuff there now, but sucks going back for stuff. I will just say that there are more components that have not been implemented yet into the game state that you will absolutely enjoy. That's how I'm going to answer that question. It's not the right time to talk about it. There's still a lot more stuff to come. For this update, we are opening up another system, another ship, a lot new content in and of itself, but the home base is not a focus. So just know that we'll have more information about the home base and ways that you interact with it in the future. All right, let's do this high risk area. Where am I? Oh, they're over there. Okay, perfect. Let's get up in their grill. We ain't messing around this time.
Oh, boy.
Ah! Guns! Too far away. Too far away. Close the gap. Beautiful. Much better. Oh, it's such a delight. That guy had armor. Did you see it? I don't know if I did. All right, let's see. Where's the armored drone? We don't have nearly as much movement, so we have to be a little bit more cautious about that. But, oh my gosh, where's the armored drone? There he is. Don't you get away from me. A little more space. Excellent. Oh my goodness, things are feeling great. Where's the gunship gang at? Oh my gosh, can I get some gunship love in chat? This thing's such a beast. Oh my gosh. And we get to save the turret for the boss. Might not be the prettiest ship to look at. It might not be super fast, but dang does this thing freaking pack a punch. Oh my gosh! He's over halfway dead. We're just absolutely savaging this punk. Oh my gosh! Get freaking wrecked! Oh my gosh! But also keep in mind, we actually had everything to use there. We also gained a level, so that does make an impact. But man, gunship go brrr. Tell you what. Also tell you what, I think that we're getting to a really important time in the stream. Because I know that a lot of you guys have been desiring the experimental build. You've been asking a lot of questions, how you even get into it. So let's just run through very briefly. I want you all to open up Steam right now, okay? I want you to open up Steam right now, okay? And there's this very, very simple little thing that you do. When you go to your games library, I'm not gonna show it on screen because I have way too much stuff going on my Steam, but I know that you can follow along. go over to Everspace 2, okay? You're gonna right click on it, and there's gonna be a properties button there, okay? When you click on properties, you're gonna have your general, your updates, your local files, your betas, your controller, okay? You want to go down to the one that says beta, okay? When you go to that one that says beta, it's going to have this little drop down window for you there, okay? And it says select the beta you would like to opt into. From that drop down list, you will see two options. One will say none, and one will say experimental, public experimental branch, okay? Click on experimental, public experimental branch if you would like to participate in the experimental branch, okay? When you do that, your game will be set to the experimental branch. That's it. Okay, we're gonna run through that again. So make sure, I'm going to slow walk through, okay, one more time. Go to your Steam library. For anybody who missed it, go to your Steam library. See that Everspace TM2? You right click on it. You go to properties. You go to betas. Okay, so then a little drop down, slowing down for all of you. You're like, wait a minute, I missed it. Slow down. This youthful streamer is too much for me, okay? Okay, right, next. You go down to your betas. I know there's some like old fart out there who's watching like, what are you talking about? I opted in the experimental branch like months ago. Man, the youth is dumb. All right, anyway, go to your betas. Then go to your beta, select the beta you would like to opt into, okay? Select the beta you would like to opt into and change that to the development, or to the public experimental branch. You don't have a development branch, excuse me, experimental branch. You'll change it to the experimental branch, okay? When you do that, this is the last thing that you need to know, okay? When you have changed it to the experimental, a hot recommend that you close down Steam entirely. Shut the whole thing down. Don't close the window, but actually close the application Steam running off of your computer, okay? You shut it down. Shut it down. Because when you launch it back up, the experimental is live right now. The button has been pushed. So let that start going while we finish up the last 15 minutes of the stream. And we should have such a delightful little fun time. We are also going to post an incredibly healthy changelog, okay? An incredibly healthy changelog. It is large and in charge, okay? In fact, the changelog is actually live. Thank you, Casper, for dropping that in as well. What a boss. So go have a look-see there. I'm not going to read it all because it's a lot, and I know that you guys can read. At least I hope you can. If not, I encourage it. Whatever. You know what I'm saying. Go read it. There's lots of information there. Otherwise, continue to hang out, enjoy this stream with me. Ask any hot questions you have since we just went live with this puppy, because there's a lot with it, and I'll try to go over as much as I possibly can these last 15 minutes. Who needs reading, right? Who needs reading? Oh man, I wish I knew what this was. If only I could read. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. Text-to-speech programs for the win. Oh my gosh. You guys are crazy. So what burning questions do you have? Because I know you got them out there. I know you want more information. I can answer quite a bit as well. It's live now, yes. It is live now. I have confirmation. Wait, hang on a second. Do I have confirmation? Did I get a full confirmation? Yes, I did in fact get a confirmation. Thank you, Sven. You're a champion. To all of these individuals, to our loving, supporting fans. Sven, ladies and gentlemen, pushing a button. Good job. Button pushed. Nailed it. He had one job expertly executed. I love it. Sven does a lot more than pushing buttons, just so you're all aware. He's pretty badass, not gonna lie. All right, anyway. You said the changelog is live. If yes, where? Yes. So the changelog has been, it'll be posted on the Steam forums, on the GOG forums as well. Actually, it won't be posted on the GOG forums because it will be posted when the update goes live on August 4th, it'll be posted on the GOG forums. But the experimental branch, which is exclusive to Steam, you go to the general discussions, basically, and then you can go to the, it's actually pinned at the top. That's it. You just go to the Steam forums, or you go to Everspace too. You click on discussions, then you click on the very top pinned experimental branch changelog. And it's a hefty amount. Like we're talking like you have to scroll for a while and your finger might get tired. It's detailed. It's crazy, all right? It's delightful. When's the next update? You knock it off right now. It's quite a lot to download. I mean, it's not like we changed the graphic of Adam's nose and then pushed it through. I mean, there's a bit of stuff to this. Can I have the Dove branch? No. Thank you for asking, though. Eric, can the gunship turret be used while charging? Charging, like when it's like at this state where it's only partially full? The answer to that is no. The answer to that is no. When you use the gunship turret, it starts and then it just keeps draining until you stop it, and then you can continue where you left off, which is what I did, which is why it's not draining anymore. But you can only fire it when it's fully charged. Now, the gunship's ult in comparison to other ults actually charges faster, so you can use it more frequently. Man, those guns are loud. And I love every moment of that loudness. Gosh, that's so satisfying. Ooh. Goodness gravy. Rockfish Color Expansion Pack for $4.99. The funny thing that is about that is that we could have done that. We could have. We could have. Is that not crazy? We added 10 colors. 10 new colors that you can choose from. We could have made that an exclusive DLC patch. We could have done that, but we didn't because we have souls. There you go. Premium price point. Buy once, play forever, get all the updates. But I would have paid for it. Gosh dang it, guys. Don't feed the system. Ah, empowerment stream. Oh my gosh, whatever. I want Everspace 3 already. Guys, calm down. All right, but hopefully you're all getting the download for the experimental branch as we are answering more questions here and just having fun. Eric, stop trying to convert me from the Scout to the Gunship. You and your brr guns. Scout forever. No, Scout is awesome. Like, don't get me wrong. They're just different play styles, okay? Like, that's, at the end of the day, that's what each of the ship offers. So I started off with the Vanguard, right? And I got wrecked. I'm still working out the Vanguard's details. It's so fast. And we were also talking a lot about the AI controller, so I'm gonna give myself some leeway on that and say if I would have been hyper-focused, probably would have bested the opponents. I digress. Then we swapped over to the Scout, and you saw how different that was, right? And a much more long-range sort of play. Like, you have to be precise, you have to be careful about your targets that you choose. And now we're going with the Gunship, which is like, screw it, I don't care. Throw me into the fray. I'll eat them for breakfast. Like, they're each one is applicable to certain situations. And if we would have gone into a spot where our opponents were mostly at range and hanging back, I can guarantee you the Gunship would have had a tough fight to deal with, but we didn't. Instead, we got one where we could get up in the fray and it was fine. So there's so many different factors here in which ship is best. You know, like, it depends on so much. At the end of the day, we gave you options. If you want a meaty beast that goes into the fray, Gunship's gonna be a great choice, just straight up. If you really like secondary weapons and the diverse cast that we have there, including, 5 new ones that we added into this experimental branch? 5? 6? Maybe it was 6. We added a lot. And you really like using those as much as you can? Yeah, I mean, bombers for you. If you we talked about range with the scout. We talked about the nimbleness of the vanguard. The sentinel is all about that shield. Could probably use some more buffs, honestly. I'll just straight up say that. Maybe we did buff it. Then the interceptor is kind of your all-around fighter. And then the striker is a close quarter combat aggression star, similar to the gunship, but more agile, but not nearly as defensive. So gunship's gonna last a lot longer, but the striker, I mean, who needs to last long when you just take out everything in your path? So there's some different mentalities and stuff like that to get into pertaining to all the different ships. So, all right, so I see some more questions coming in, so let's answer a couple more. Ship tiers, we're getting tier 2 now, but what's the difference between tier 1 and tier 1 plus? So basically, tier 1 plus is an enhanced version of the tier 1 tier. You can see the difference visually by the wings that are on the ship. A tier 1 and a tier 1 plus will have standardized wing sets. Tier 2 will have enhanced wing sets. Stats is the big difference. Raw stats. But the jump from tier 1 to tier 2 is like, now you have another device slot. Now you have stronger expertise. Now you have a second passive. Now you have a cooler looking ship. So there's each one's there. In my humble opinion, it's already in the experimental update. What's that referring to? Is that the Sentinel update? Did we update the Sentinel? Shoot, I can't. There's too much stuff to keep track of. Guys, we did a bunch of things. Go look at it for yourself. Figure it out. It's fine. Whatever. Oh my goodness. Goodness gravy. Woo, it's hot in here. It's probably because of all this sheer excitement I got going on. Oh my goodness. Downloaded and verifying hype. Also, want to throw this out there one more time for anybody who missed the little segment on how to get in. First off, the experimental update is in fact live. You go into Steam, you right click, Everspace 2, you go to properties, you go to betas, then you click on a little drop down that says, get me into the experimental branch right now. And also, restart Steam. Restart it. I'm not talking close it down and open it up. I'm talking fully, eradicate Steam from running and then boot it back up. Guaranteed will get you going, all right? Good stuff. And I'm so looking forward to the screenshots and so looking forward to the really wonky, crazy things that, I haven't talked about and shown you that you'll discover. You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy, because there's stuff in here that I really wanted to show you, but the timing's just not right. You're gonna experience it yourself. Also keep in mind, especially because this is an experimental update, be mindful of the spoilers that you are sharing. Just be respectful. That's all I ask, okay? Don't go dropping in our Discord and being like, look guys, I have the experimental branch, I'm better than you, and then show all the spoilers. That's not cool, all right? In fact, that could get you kicked from the Discord, all right? Be respectful, okay? So use spoiler tags. You guys know how to use spoiler tags? Same thing on the Steam forums. Make sure that if you're providing feedback, go to the experimental branch forums to do so. Just common courtesy. Just be nice, okay? Let's be good boys and girls. It helps everyone out. Excellent. Oh, and keep in mind that there are bugs in experimental. I'm actually glad you pointed that out, because it's... I feel like I shouldn't have to say that, right? Do I have to say it? But I have to say it. I get it. In the experimental branch, we are looking at experimental updates to the game. And experimenting with some additions and changes. And you might experience some bugs. This is common and natural. If that happens, please let us know the bug that you found so we can squash it before we push out the full Zarkov update August 4th. Excellent. I am kind of melting. I'm warm. You can't see sweat, can you? Oh my gosh. I hope not. I'm seriously warm. I'm just like, I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys. I'm excited for like the work that we've accomplished. Like, can I just like splurge for a moment and just talk about the ROCKFISH team? Like, holy heck. Everything from the ship modeling to the mission designs and layouts to the itemization reward system, to how the story, like how it flows and brings you into new experiences so that you can kind of learn the game as you just follow the story itself instead of be cast into something and have 50,000 things barraging you all at once and not knowing what the frick to do. Like, it feels so right. Like, oh my goodness. And like, and how we're starting to ebb into, because we're not done. Like, there's still so much more. Like, goodness gravy, guys. Like, the itemization alone, there's still so much more coming to this, but there's still more freaking items coming to this as well. So it's not just more things that tweak items, it's more items itself. And like, every single one of the guys in the teams, like, we get into arguments because we want the game to be the best it can possibly be. It's like the best kind of arguing. It's amazing. And I'm so thankful that you guys understand and appreciate the stuff that we're doing and accomplishing here, because we want you to love this too. And if you don't, that's why we tell you and why we're being so transparent about all of this stuff. It's why we want you to dive in on those forums and go ham. You tell us why you don't like something. You tell us why you do like something. You have a conversation with us. Like, this is how this works. It's how it works. And if you don't voice that opinion, if you don't share what you discovered, it might get missed. Who knows? You could actually change the game. You! So thank you for your dedication, your time commitment, and just your love and appreciation. Like, thank you for just helping us do our job so much better and being a part of this whole early access experience. So, that's the stream. I want you guys to go have fun in the experimental build. For a lot of you, it should be about 30-ish minutes, maybe less, to install at this point. Others, it's gonna be a little bit of time, but that's why we launched it during the course of the stream as opposed to at the very, very, very end. So, have fun and let us know what you think, all right? You guys have been absolutely awesome today. Really appreciate all the questions. I know I didn't get to all of them. Perfect time to also mention that if you missed your question getting responded, or rather I missed your question in the chat, you can head on over to our Discord at discord.gg/rockfishgames. We have an Ask Devs Questions channel. You slide on in there and you say, hey punk, you didn't answer my question. I'm mad at you. Also, this is my question. And then I will answer your question. That's how it works. Wonderful. Fantastic. Also, the community might jump in there and answer questions too, because they're very well informed. We've got some all-star players all up in here. So it's good all around. All right, folks. That is everything that I can offer you at this point in time. I kept a lot of things hidden, so there's a lot to explore, a lot to discover, and I'm sure that you will find it in time. That's all I got. That's it. You guys have been awesome. And I have been Eric Schrader, your community ambassador for ROCKFISH Games. Don't stop being awesome. We'll catch you next week, and we'll talk about more things and see how the experimental branch has been holding up for you. Toodles! Oh my goodness, Sven just brought up a really good point to me. He wasn't just pushing buttons, he was moving the mouse too. F in chat. Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention that. I'm so sorry, Sven. Next time I'll remember, I promise.